Malware, of course, in the news yesterday, and you know, a lot of people seeing problems, of course, with this virus. And you know, we're talking about how you can protect your Macs. A lot of people say, you know, Macs are already protected, but a lot of people are seeing an issue with it.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. For a long time, people have said that Macs cannot get viruses, and the fact is that's just not true. Although the threat to Macs is a lot less than it is to PCs. So that is one thing that we should note. But Macs can get malware, and we've seen that here in the past. And as Apple continues to become more popular, they become a bigger target for malware developers, for hackers to try to get into your system. So how big is the threat? Well, 1 in 36 Macs harbor Mac malware, some viruses that can take advantage of your computer, and that's only 2 or 3%, which is a lot less than PCs. But they also say that 1 in 5 Macs harbor malware that is harmful only to PCs. So if you have Macs in your computer, in your network at home, and PCs also, those PCs can become infected by your Mac, even though your Mac doesn't have a problem with those viruses. So what's Apple doing about this? Coming up here in the next version of their operating system, they're releasing some new features like Gatekeeper, which prevents you from downloading software from the internet. They're sandboxing their applications to prevent them from accessing your critical data, so they can't access your contacts or your calendar or any of your information on your system without you approving it.
And I'm always asked for updates all the time. You want to make sure you do.
And that's absolutely, for you out there, what do you do? Update your software. Do not update. Do not ignore your updates to your software. Also, you can install antivirus software on your Mac. It's available. There's 3 applications that I've linked to on my website. You can download them from the Mac App Store, and they're free, and they just go through and search through your system and find out what kind of malware and viruses you might have on your Mac, and then remove them.
All right. Well, Brian, what if you have an iPad? I've got an iPad at home, or an iPhone.
So that's the big question here too. Is is your iPad, is your iPhone safe from viruses and malware? Up until recently, we actually have not seen an instance of malware on the iPad or the iPhone.
That's good.
And that's a great thing. Especially since Android devices have a huge problem with malware right now. Apple's very good about screening the applications that are allowed to be installed on your phone. So you really don't have a lot to worry about, except for this last week, an app did make it through the review process. It was called Find and Call. And this app actually went on and looked at all of your contact information and then spammed all the emails and text messages that it could find in your contact list. Apple since removed that and basically banned that developer from building any more applications for the App Store.
And what can you do if you own an iPad or iPhone?
Yeah, so just
another thing, check your updates,
Make sure you're keeping your software up to date. Make sure you're also using secure Wi-Fi when you're out browsing the web on the go. Make sure you're not, accessing your bank information on unsecured Wi-Fi. And then make sure you're encrypting your iOS backup in iTunes. There's links to do all kinds of different things on my website, but there's some tips out there. Really, malware is not a big problem for iOS, but it is something to think about for the Mac. So let's, for us Mac users out there, let's make sure we're aware that there could be problems.
And all this great information, of course, you can find a link on our webpage to Brian Sheely's World at CBS5AZ.com. That's your email address, right? Brian Sheely's World?
Brian Sheely's World. That'd be good.
All right. More of the CBS 5 Morning News will continue right after this. Great information. Thank you.